Y'all, what's up? It's your boy Nitro Hot Fire here, and welcome to the first episode of Real Talk with Nitro. This is the show that I use to put my opinions out there for y'all. Some of these things are things that people ask me over and over again countless times, and sometimes I figure, hey, I should make a video about this. So, first thing I want to talk about today is school and education. For all of you all who know me, know that I live in a college town, Auburn, Alabama. Auburn, Alabama is specifically centered around Auburn University. It's really sad how much the town is actually centered all around Auburn University completely. From banks and stores closed on the weekends because of football games, all the way up to like Walmart changing their prices because it's spring break or it's the summer break because they know the students not gonna be here. Which I can't say that I don't enjoy, because once everybody's gone, all the prices drop. Anyway, from a different side of that, what's really bad, I guess I would say, is how people really view school. People really view school as your education. Going to school is exactly your education. So if you're not in school, you're not furthering your education. So let me ask y'all something first. What is education? Education, the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction. The theory and practice of teaching. Now, an example of education would actually be going to school. You go to school to learn. You go to school like to a university to gain a certain knowledge in your field so you can go out in the world, get a job, and become a successful member of society. But you have to look at the real world. That's not always the case. Just because you go to school for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever amount of time you go to school for, you graduate, that still doesn't guarantee that you get a job.
Here's your diploma, good sir.
Alright, my diploma.
And your sack of money.
My sack of money. Yeah, I graduated. So as you can see, when you graduate, it's not like you just gonna get your diploma. It's like, here's your sack of money. I mean, people not really gonna do that for you. You actually have to go out, look for a job, and actually put the effort into it. Now, to actually go back to the definition of education, the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction. Now, just because you're in school doesn't mean you're actually receiving the instruction. It doesn't actually mean you're absorbing the knowledge. It doesn't actually mean you're learning anything. Just because you go out and take a test on something, you could be just a good test taker. You could just be lucky. You could just be sliding through the system slightly by the thread of your teeth. That doesn't actually mean you know the information. That actually just means you have a diploma saying you do know the information. But when you get out there in the real world and you actually don't know the information, that's when your problem is actually gonna occur. So now on a personal note, I'm not actually in school myself because right now I just can't afford it. You know, I'm going through saving up money and all that just so I can actually get back into school. But the fact that I'm not in school right now does not make me a failure. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything with my life. It doesn't mean I'm sitting down on my lazy behind playing Xbox, Nintendo Wii, and GameCube all day. It doesn't mean I'm doing that. It means, for me personally, I think just because I'm not in school, it doesn't stop me from getting an education. I go get the information. I don't just sit here and wait for me. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go to school and they're gonna teach me all I need to know. But I can't learn it right now because I'm not in school. To me, that's just ignorant. For God's sake, you have Google. Google is your best friend. Google will teach you whatever you want to know. The internet is a massive amount of energy that you can go out online, search for something, and actually go learn it. For all of y'all who see some of my other videos, y'all see some of the special effects, some of the music I do, some of all that stuff. It's not because I went to school for it. It's actually because I studied it personally. I took the time out of my life to actually sit down, read a book, and learn it. That's what a lot of people are getting mixed up about these days. They don't actually think that they can go out and learn something on their own, or they don't want to put the effort in learning something on their own. They actually just want to sit there and let the university do it for them. It's the same thing about parenting. Parents don't like to teach their kids a lot of these things because they expect the school to teach it for them. They expect that it's the teacher's job in school to teach you this. It's not my job. Well, no, and then the parents get mad because the student come home and doesn't know the information that they expect them to know. Now you get mad at the teacher. If you really want your child to know something, you teach it to them. Stop being lazy. Stop sitting on your behind and expecting somebody to do your parenting job for you. A while back, there was this big, huge debate, this big, huge thing going on about the public schools are not teaching the kids cursive writing anymore. And a lot of people was mad about that. A lot of parents were mad about that because their kids couldn't learn cursive writing. But all these parents are getting mad and making this big huge uproar about their kids not learning cursive writing when they, the parent, can be at home teaching the child cursive writing. If you want the child to know something, teach the child. I actually had a really good teacher in high school, a marine biology teacher, who would teach the kids on college level. He would teach them things that they weren't even required to know at a high school level. And a lot of those students went off to the marine biology majors, and a lot of those students went in knowing more than the actual students there already knew, because they was prepared. They was prepared ahead of time. He taught them on such a high of a level that they went in completely ready. And that's what's wrong with society today. That's what's wrong with education today. People see education as school. They don't see education for what it actually is. Education is the process of learning, the process of taking in information and being able to give it out again. So pretty much, guys, those are the key points that I want to talk about. Don't limit your education to school. If you want to know something, go learn it. Look it up. Study it for yourself. And parents, if you want your kids to know something, teach them yourself. It's not the school's job to teach them. But anyway, that's all I got to say, and that's real talk. It's your boy Nitro Hot Fire here. Peace.
A change, a change, a change, a change. Forget them other guys telling all them lies, claiming they're the best and they're not. We can all make a change, a change, a change, a change.